Here's a pail of wheat kernels. Half a pail of wheat kernels, I should say. What my goal is to get 100,000 of these in a bowl. And we're going to put some things into perspective here. What I've got to do is weigh 10, of course, counting out 100,000 kernels of wheat is a very tedious job, so I'm going to weigh 10 grams of it. Get 10 grams of, this is the metric scale. It'll measure up to 610 grams when it's all out. I'm going to figure out 10 grams of wheat, count them out, and estimate 100,000 that way. Well, I get as close to accurate as I can. Not all wheat kernels are the same size and weight, so just giving an estimate of it. That's almost bang on. Okay, it was 281 seeds is the count of that 10 grams. Okay, for 100, I've got to use metric, so for 100,000 divided by 28.1 seeds per gram, you'd have 3,558.71 grams. So you need over 3,500 grams, or 3.5 kilograms to get 100,000 seeds. So I gotta set the scale at, I'm gonna go back to, I said at 500 grams, if I can. Actually, I'll go 250. That's the scale. I'll leave it set at 250 because that's your scale, what you want for a sample for wheat to test it for moisture. So it's 250 grams a shot. I'll put this 10 in so you need to know where to go. So I need 3,558 grams. I'll go 3,500 to be generous, so it's just so it's not quite 100,000. $3,500 divided by 250 is I need 14 scalefuls to get 3,500 grams. So that's what I'll do. I need 14 250s to achieve that. Now you won't quite have 100,000 seeds, but I don't need them for the purpose of my point. I don't need quite that many. Starting to tip now, so. There's one out of 14. Okay, this is approximately 100,000 wheat seeds. This represents our error, and this 42 represents our carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. Tell me, is this causing climate change? Is this causing a greenhouse effect? That's what they say. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for 1 second. This wheat crop, these trees, this grass, they're all plants, right? Well, plants breathe carbon dioxide, and they need it. They cannot live without carbon dioxide, not one bit. So they need them like we need oxygen. They need carbon dioxide like we need oxygen. Doesn't that seem a little low to you? And it is. Okay. I add more kernels to this. There's 120 here now. And this is optimum for plant growth. So we just about tripled this to get the optimum level for plant growth. So that's 1,200 parts per million. I get different readings between 1,000 and 1,500 for optimum, so I picked an in-between number, but we got about a third of optimum carbon dioxide level for plants, and they do better on it. Greenhouses truck it in or generate it by burning natural gas to enhance their plant growth, so carbon dioxide helps the plants. And when we start reducing carbon dioxide, the plants will suffer markedly. Here's why I don't completely believe in man-made climate change. No, well, I do a little bit, and I totally reject the greenhouse gas, the greenhouse effects, the greenhouse gases causing climate change. I totally reject that theory based on, number one, the fact that carbon dioxide is not only a natural byproduct of life, but it is because it's an essential part of life. And not only is it essential to life, but we are low on it. We're 1/3 of optimum levels. So that's the reason I reject that theory. I don't totally reject man-made climate change and the fact that we have every bit of energy we use is given us in some way or another residual heat. Could that possibly warm the Earth up by 1.6 degrees Celsius in the last century or so? Possibly. I'm not against the idea of man-made climate change being caused by technology such as chemtrails and HAARP. The biggest reason why I'm against it, or I'm not going to say biggest reasons, but the people who believe in it, who proclaim it the most, they don't live it. They don't practice what they preach. Does Al Gore believe in man-made climate change? I doubt it. After he proclaimed oceans would rise 20 feet, he ran out and bought an oceanfront property in California for multi-million dollars. So obviously he doesn't believe the ocean's going to rise 20 feet like he told us. Right? Every dire prediction the experts had years ago, none of that has really come true. Nothing they predicted has come true. Justin Trudeau, does he believe in man-made climate change like he's basically putting his whole government towards this? Yet he goes around, he flies an Airbus A310 aircraft all over the world for photo ops, and yet he tells us that we shouldn't be driving our vehicles, or downsize, or get electric, or something like that. I don't think he really believes it. The big and all the powers that be that like the WEF, they're really pushing this for their own power. You'll own nothing and be happy. Well, baloney. You try to take what we have, it's going to tick us off big time, so back off and leave us alone. But they all have private jets, so much for them believing it. They wouldn't be flying private jets if they really believed that the climate is that we're causing climate change. They wouldn't be doing it. They'd be leading by example. Another reason I reject man-made climate change, and this is a very big one, is they collect their data for atmospheric concentrations at Mauna Loa, the world's largest active volcano. Tell me, why would they, of all the places on Earth, why would they observe that there? Why wouldn't they observe it where they observed historical levels through ice samples? Like, they did the same location to gather ice samples for to measure atmospheric carbon dioxide, say, 200 years ago. Why couldn't they test for carbon dioxide there in the same area for today's air? Doesn't that seem odd to you that they're and fishy that they gotta build their observatory at a volcano? Their goal of consensus is anti-scientific, and same with their inconsistency. When you do scientific experiments or experiments of any kind, if you want to learn something, you keep everything consistent and have one variable to make for a fair comparison. They're not doing that. That's basic frickin' science. So I reject it. I reject carbon dioxide causing climate change entirely. And it's minute. You saw the wheat. 42 kernels out of 100,000 isn't all that much. And that's Mauna Loa data. There again, I found another it was in government, I think, agricultural, and they say that for agricultural purposes, they say the ambient carbon dioxide concentrations are 340 parts per million, which is even less. So yeah, I don't buy any of their crap. Well, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.